Hello, everyone on YouTube. I am getting us set up on Instagram, so I'll be going live in both of those places at once. And I did the same thing a week ago, and it was really fun. So we're going to do the same thing again. I also want to say this is like my second or third time going live on YouTube. And I know that last time there were people leaving comments and I wasn't responding. I'm literally just getting used to this, but I see you. I'm so happy you're here. Please continue to engage and to leave comments. And I also wanted to let you know that I am going to be sharing out the replays of all of these live streams because I know sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to like find something after you watch it. And so I want to email you the replay of this live stream. And I'm also going live every single day this week. I'm not going to iterate on this too much because I got to start the live stream on Instagram and then I'll explain everything to you. But I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to be talking all about another key that has really made a major difference in my personal evolution. So let's get into that. And the title of this live stream is Stop Waiting for People to get on board. All right. Our Instagram friends will be joining us in a minute. And thank you everyone on YouTube for bearing with me. Okay. Awesome. So we are live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. For any of you who didn't see my Instagram stories or my YouTube community posts, I am going to be going live every single day this week, talking to you about a different key that has helped me on my personal evolution. So there are a lot of pieces that go into becoming a new version of yourself. And when I'm talking about this, I'm talking holistically. So this isn't just about transforming one area of your life while other areas of your life are still feeling stagnant. This is about changing the person you are. Now, I don't mean changing yourself. I don't mean, altering yourself or becoming fake. I mean, actually letting go of all the layers that have kept you from showing up as your most authentic, most true, most fully expressed self. And as we continue to release those different layers that would have us pretending, performing, making misaligned choices just to please other people, whatever that may be, as we continue to go on that healing journey, we will then change other areas of our lives. Oh my God, hi, it's good to see you here. Okay, so there are different things that we have to heal, right, in order to become a new version of ourselves and ultimately in order to change our lives. And one of the foundational pieces that I talked about on Thursday was the spiritual piece, right? The way that we view ourselves and whether or not we believe that we are fundamentally supported, whether or not we believe we are fundamentally loved, whether or not we believe there is a divine presence that is invested in us and wants us to thrive and wants us to succeed can make a huge difference. And I would argue is like the most basic thing that makes a difference in how you view yourself, the kinds of chances that you will take on yourself, the way that you will stand up for yourself when people don't agree with you, the way that you will bounce back from challenges and problems. And I could go on and on and on. But having that spiritual foundation is so important. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to my live stream on Thursday, I will make sure that I email that out to you when I email you all the other live stream replays from this series, because that is a foundational piece. And so what is this series? I am going to be doing a 5-part live stream series all about creating a personal evolution. So how do you actually become a new version of you? How do you actually create those inner changes that are going to transform your outer world? So if you have situations and circumstances in your life that you wish were different, the way that you're going to change those circumstances is by meeting them differently. It's not so much everyone else in my life needs to change. And I think by the time you're on this page and by the time you're watching this content, you realize like it's not that we need to manipulate everything and everyone around us because we're not happy. It's that we need to see life differently and meet life differently. And once we are meeting life from that place of authenticity and power, we will then make choices that put us in different situations. And so, whether this has to do with your career, relationships you might be in, whether this has to do with your family members, whether this has to do with your health and your fitness and all kinds of things. When you change how you show up, you change what gets reflected back to you. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about all this week. So I'm going to be going live today. I'm going to be going live every day until Friday. And if you sign up for this series, I will be emailing you the replay of all of these live streams so that you'll have them in one place. I know, especially depending on different platforms, it can be hard to go back and find a live stream series. And I almost hate, I love hate when people go live and then I really love the live stream and I want to revisit it a bunch of times and I want to like take notes even, or I want it to be a resource for me. And meanwhile, the post is now buried because that person posts every single day. And so if even a week goes by, now I'm scrolling and trying to find it and it just becomes a mess. So I want to make it very easy for you. If these live streams are resonating with you, I'm going to have the link to the live stream series in my Instagram stories and also in the description of the YouTube live so that if you want to, you can come back to this as many times as you want. And I'll be including all of the live streams from today, as well as the live stream that I did on Thursday so that you can have that bonus foundational piece, which is the spiritual piece. And again, all of this is going to be coming from my own personal experience. I have been many versions of myself at many times. I posted a YouTube video recently about my transition from being a burnt out corporate researcher. I was at a tech company, feeling really unfulfilled and just feeling completely dead inside, and how I was able to transform my career and actually become a spiritual coach where I'm making a huge impact on hundreds of people's lives, the people that are in my courses, the people that have been my clients, my personal clients, my membership, all these things. I have been able to impact over 300 people in really deep and profound ways doing the work that I do today. But all of that required me to first go on a transformational journey myself. And so I talk about that on my YouTube channel. I'll be posting that to the podcast as well. But I have been through many iterations of Samara, right? It has not always been this. This has not always been me. I spent a lot of the, earlier years of my adulthood. And I say this like tentatively because I'm 28 years old. So if we think about my adulthood, it's really only been like 10 years. But if we go back 10 years when I was 18, it was definitely very like, I'm experiencing all of these problems in life and I'm blaming everyone around me and, feeling almost like childhood trauma got the best of me and like there's nothing I can really do. And the best I can hope for is to just chug along and get some kind of job that I don't hate and make it through the next 70 years. And that was really how I was viewing life. Like I had a very small, limited outlook on life. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I believed that the trauma that I had experienced as a kid made it so that I could never really thrive in life. Like I felt like I would be permanently limited. And that was where I lived. That was where my head was at and where my heart was at for years. Right. And then maybe in 2019, when I was 23 years old, that was when I first started to learn the concept of manifestation. And that started to give me hope that I could have a say and I could have an influence over my circumstances and over the trajectory of my life. I started to really play with the idea that the people who hurt me when I was a kid didn't have the final say over my life and over all that I could be. And that piece, the manifestation piece, combined with the deeper spiritual stuff that I was talking about on Thursday, really started to create this cocktail, this like beautiful blend of really believing that God was looking out for me, believing that the divine was on my side and that there was love available to me, even though I didn't experience the kinds of love that maybe other people experienced growing up. So believing that I could have love. Oh, hey, Aurora. Believing that I could have love in my life, and also believing that I did have a say over my circumstances, believing that there was something that I could do to transform my circumstances and to not just let my childhood trauma have the final say over my life. So these were like two very key things, and learning about manifestation really helped. And I love the concept of manifestation. I teach manifestation in my Moody and Magnetic course, and I am consistently thinking of other ways that I can bring my version of manifestation, my understanding of manifestation forward. But before we can even talk about manifestation, we have to talk about this piece of what to do when other people don't get it, when other people don't get you, when you want to do something and make changes in your life, whether it's you want to have a healthy, stable marriage and everyone in your family's marriage falls apart, or people in your family don't get married, perhaps. Maybe it's you want to build a thriving business of your own and everyone in your family is employed and they believe that employment is the only way to have a stable, thriving career. Whatever that might be for you, what do you do when you are surrounded by people who don't have the same vision that you have, and maybe even who discourage you from having the vision because they don't see how it could work or they don't believe that it's possible for you? So, the first thing that I want to say here, because I know that this really happens at different points in our lives, and depending, I think, on like your age and also where you are in relationship to these people, the approach is going to be different. And so, what I'm going to do is speak to you personally, not speak to the relationships that you have with other people, because I don't know those other people and I don't know what your history is like with them, and I don't know where, like, how much power each person has in their relationship, etc. But I do know that if you are here, you are committed to your own growth and to your own evolution. And when you are committed to your own growth and to your own evolution, you need to then work on building a belief system to where you feel unstoppable no matter what. Like, I want you to get to the point where you can have a conversation with yourself, no one else around, just you and you. You have a conversation with yourself and you believe fully in your whole body, you believe it, that you are going to get what you want in life and that your life is going to go the way you want it to go. And this isn't about convincing anybody else. This is about convincing you that your life is on a certain trajectory, that you are headed to certain places, and that you will create the life that you see for yourself. Again, no matter what anyone else believes or says. So these are secret conversations. These are private conversations. You can journal them out. You can do mirror work if that's something that you're familiar with. There's a book called Mirror Work by Louise Hay that you can check out and learn more about what that is. But these are things that you do by yourself. You have to be so fully convinced within you that your life is going to go a certain way and that you are going to have certain things and that you are on a certain trajectory. And the more you cultivate that and the more you really like ground into that, the less dependent you will be on other people's perceptions, on other people's opinions, on other people's doubts and fears and thoughts. Because you could be in a situation where people are telling you left, right, front, center, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Why are you even trying? It's not worth it. Just give up, whatever it might be. And they might be saying this with their words, but they also might be saying this non-verbally, right? Because we are empathic people. We can pick up on nonverbal communication. We can read a room. And so if you are noticing that people are just acting a certain way, maybe making certain faces, maybe just treating you in such a way where you don't feel like they believe in you, where you don't feel like they're on board with your vision, where you don't feel like they get it, what you need to realize is that conversations that you have with yourself, like the one that I just talked about, the conversation of like, I am going to do this no matter what, and I believe in me, and I've got this. And I also believe on the spiritual plane that the divine has me, that the divine is going to see me through this circumstance and see me through these challenges, and that the divine is ultimately on my side. When you have those conversations with yourself, it is so much easier to be surrounded by people who don't get it and still feel confident and still feel calm. Because at the end of the day, those people can't accomplish your dreams for you. Those people can't build what you want on your behalf. You know, it's not like, and this is something that I really wish more people were talking about. And I was having this conversation with a client the other day because my client was expressing that she had had a really big transformation in her finances and in the way that she sees money and relates to money. And we were just talking about like how her financial situation has changed and really what the internal changes have been in terms of how she relates to money, right? So we were talking about this, and I was telling her, I was like, I hope you realize, because she was like, yeah, and working with you has been so instrumental and has really helped. And I had to say to her, hey, I hope you realize I could set the table, but you had to eat. Like you were the only one that was going to actually make the change. I couldn't make it on your behalf. And so while I am very grateful that I have helped you, I want you to be proud of yourself and to think about all the things that you did to get yourself to this point. And this is true of all of us. No person, no matter how much they believe in you or want to help you, can change your life on your behalf. Like they can't physically get up every day and build the business for you. They can't get up every day and create the content for you. They can't get up every day and build the loving, you know, compassionate relationship for you. They can't do these things on your behalf, no matter whether they believe in you or not. And so there's almost this piece of like taking your power back and realizing that, like, if people believe in you, that's awesome. If people don't believe in you, that's also fine, because either way, it's going to come back to you. And when you realize that either way it's going to come back to you, you realize that the key thing that you need to really be focusing on is how can I put myself in a position where I am going to show up no matter what? How can I set boundaries properly, use my time effectively? And maybe there are decisions that you need to start making, and you can even journal about this after this live stream is over. Like, maybe there are choices you need to be making differently so that you are moderating your exposure to the people who leave you feeling like your dream isn't going to come true, who leave you feeling like your vision isn't going to come to life. Because even though, yes, it does come down to you, and yes, you are responsible for how you perceive yourself, your life, your vision, your trajectory, all these things, you're also responsible for what you consume and what you take in. Like if there are certain, and I go through this sometimes, or I have to mute and unfollow people from social media, or I will, you know, I'll be watching a certain TV show and then all of a sudden I'm noticing that after I watch that show, I don't feel super great about my life or about myself or about whatever it might be. And so then I have to change. I have to set boundaries. There's certain things I don't watch on TV. I actually don't watch a lot of TV, period. Like the list of TV shows I watch is very, very little. I don't follow a lot of people on social media. I might be following people, but I mute them, right? Like I take the steps I need to take. There's certain people who I won't get on the phone with you every week for 2 hours. I'll get on the phone with you once a month for 20 minutes. Like I have to set those boundaries within myself because I take my calling so seriously, and not just the calling of my business, but I take this vision that I have for myself and for my life so seriously, and it matters so much to me that I am not going to let other people get in the way of that. And this doesn't mean that I go around arguing with people. This doesn't mean that I try to push people into believing something just because I believe it, but I just allow people to be who they are, and I decide how I interact with them from there. And then, of course, the opposite is true. If there's someone who, whenever I listen to them or talk to them or watch their content or whatever it may be, if there's people who leave me feeling like I've got this, I can do this, I am the one for this is meant for me, all my dreams are coming true, I saturate myself with those people, with that content, with those friends. Like, I will go out of my way to spend time with people who leave me feeling like my dreams are supported, like my dreams are attainable, like my dreams are possible. I talked about this maybe in like December on a live stream that I did, this idea of getting around people that make your goals feel normal. And that's why I love running group programs. And that's actually one of the reasons why I'm doing my U 2.0 retreat in June, is because I want to create that sacred space for people to spend a whole weekend, a whole 3 days just around people who believe in them and just around people who help them believe in themselves. Because it's not a given that you will have people in your every single day life, let alone people who you spend, you know, days in a row, days at a time around, that believe in you and that want you to thrive and that fully, completely like are on board with every single vision that you have for your life. And that's why spaces like this U 2.0 retreat are so necessary and are so important, because we all deserve to have a pocket of time where all we do is surround ourselves with that energy, and where everyone we're coming into contact with for days on end is someone who is on their own journey of evolution, is open hearted, is believing in themselves and believing in you. Like, that kind of energy is so special and so valuable. And if I'm being honest, I'm looking forward to it, because this is the kind of space you can't get enough of. And so that's one of the special things about going on retreats or taking courses or doing things where you are putting yourself around people. And hey, this retreat that I'm talking about, it's definitely for a specific kind of person. You know, it's multiple four figures. It's a trip to the Catskill Mountains, and you know, you're really investing a lot of time and energy and money into being in this space. And for some of you, that is like the perfect thing. That is exactly what you've been looking for. That's exactly what you need right now. And if that is the case for you, I definitely want to encourage you to get on the wait list for the retreat, because everyone on the wait list gets $300 off the experience, and you'll be the very first ones to apply. And because I only have 4 spots open for this retreat, being one of the first to apply is definitely in your favor. So for some of you, that's exactly what you need. If you're listening to this and you're like, okay, that might be biting off more than I can chew right now, how can you like go to a yoga class or go to an art class, or just put yourself, go to like a meetup? Like, one of the things I'm going to be doing here in New York, especially as we get into the summer, is hosting like self-care picnics and hosting meetups for people who are just interested in the same kinds of things. And maybe for you, your step to actually get around the right energy and to get around people who are on the same wavelength as you is to take advantage of some kind of event in your community where you can just spend an hour or two around the kinds of people who will see you and who will understand your vision. Or even if they don't understand it, they're still going to believe in it, because they also have their own vision and they know the power of belief, they know the power of faith. And so getting around people who have faith, getting around people who have their own thing that they're working towards, and so they don't even have the time to shut you down or to cut you down because they don't want to be cut down themselves, right? Like, people like that, people like us, making the time, whether it is on the spectrum of I am literally going to hire someone. Like, I have people who are like, I'm going to hire Samara so that I can talk to Samara every single week and also have a voice message chat with Samara, so that whenever I notice anything coming up, any kind of doubt or worry, I'm going to be able to have access to Samara. Like, there's people who are like that. There's people who are like, I'm going to come hang out with Samara and like-minded company for a weekend. And then there's people who are like, I am going to spend an hour going to this picnic or going to this class or going and just investing wherever it makes sense for you, but knowing that like it is worth it. It's a meaningful priority for you to have, to surround yourself with the kinds of people who are going to support you and who are going to believe in you. Because at the end of the day, you deserve that. You deserve that community who does see you, and you get to have it. And if you don't feel like you have it right now, or if you feel like it could look different, I would encourage you to start to have conversations with yourself and to start to pray about it and to journal about it and to reflect on it in whatever way that looks for you, but really to make space in your life to hear about this, to reflect on this, and to get clarity on what your next steps are in terms of stepping into that community. And then also on the other side, where can you be that community member for someone else? Maybe there's someone in your life, maybe you have a friend who's trying to lose weight or who started a business or who is looking for their partner or something like that. Maybe you have a friend who you can actually be supportive of, and then you two can be buddies and you two can support each other in your dreams and in your visions. But remember that you do deserve it. If you're not getting it right now, that's okay. Your first step is to build it within yourself. And then from there, it's expanding out and seeking out the people who are actually going to be a match for you and who are actually going to help you and support you. Hey, Joanne. People who are actually going to help you and support you on your path. So we are coming to a close. I feel complete. I feel like I've said everything that I needed to say here. If you have any questions or if this brought up any reflection for you, go ahead and leave a comment. I love reading comments and I will definitely respond and we can have more of a conversation down below, whether you're on YouTube or Instagram. I would love to hear what this is bringing up for you and what this is making you think about. If you are feeling called to come be a part of the U 2.0 retreat, I am going to leave all the information in my Instagram stories. It is in the link of my Instagram bio, and I'm going to put it in the description of this YouTube live so that it is very easy. And then again, if this live stream spoke to you specifically and you want to make sure that you can come back to it again and again, sign up for the live stream series, and I will be sending you this replay, the replay from Thursday, and all of the replays from the lives that I'll be doing throughout the week. All right, links to everything are going to be in my Insta stories and down below. I love you so much. I am so grateful to you for taking some time to hang out with me on a Monday, and I am sending you all of the most beautiful energy for the rest of your week. Take good care. Thanks, Steph. Okay, Instagram Live is over, and now we are going to end the stream here. Thank you for hanging out with me on YouTube. I know this is a newer community, but it means just as much to me, and I'm just so thrilled and over the moon that you took the time to watch this. So I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!